So, if you're building a career in AI, you've probably noticed something's different. The gold rush of 2024, that's over. The market has grown up. We're in 2026, and it's not about generic AI skills anymore. The highest salaries, the best jobs are now going to a totally new class of specialist. These are the pros who can take an AI model out of the lab and make it actually work, reliably and profitably, in the real world. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly which roles are in demand, and more importantly, why.
First, we'll look at the huge shift that changed the entire AI job market. Then, we're going to dive deep into 4 of the highest-paying roles that really define this new era. And to wrap it up, we'll lay out a clear strategy to help you position your career for 2026 and well beyond.
Okay, let's get right into it. The first thing you have to understand is that the AI job market has gone through a fundamental split. We've moved past all that initial hype, and we're now in an era that demands real, measurable value.
You know, just a couple years ago, the big question was pretty simple. Hey, can AI even do this? Companies were hiring AI evangelists and prompt engineers just to see what was possible. But fast forward to 2026, and that question has gotten a whole lot tougher. Now it's, how well does it work? What does it cost? And who is actually benefiting? This huge shift from just exploring to actually executing means that those general prompt-only jobs are fading out, and they're being replaced by a serious demand for specialists, people who can build, deploy, and maintain real, robust AI systems.
And this isn't just my take. Stanford's AI experts called this perfectly at the end of 2025. They said, the era of AI evangelism is giving way to an era of AI evaluation. What that means is the market isn't rewarding people for just talking about AI anymore. It's rewarding the professionals who can take an exciting pilot project and turn it into a scalable, profitable production system that a whole company can depend on.
So, that brings us to our very first high-income specialty. Let's talk about the MLOps and AI infrastructure engineers. I like to call them the AI reliability crew.
So what do these folks actually do? Well, their job is all about what happens after a model gets built. Because when a shiny new AI model meets the chaos of the real world, things break. Models drift, which means that performance gets worse over time. Infrastructure fails. These engineers are the ones who prevent those incredibly costly failures. They build automated pipelines. Think of it as CI/CD, but for AI, that makes sure these systems are stable, scalable, and trustworthy.
Think of it like this. Building a model is like building a powerful race car engine. But MLOps is about building the entire car around that engine, hiring the pit crew, and setting up all the telemetry dashboards to make absolutely sure it can win the race without blowing up on the first lap. They manage that whole life cycle, from development all the way to deployment and constant monitoring.
And here's the kicker. The salary directly reflects this huge responsibility. Companies are paying a massive premium for these skills. We're talking salaries from around $160,000 for mid-level roles to well over $350,000 for principal engineers. Why? It's simple. They're the ones who de-risk multi-million-dollar AI investments and make sure they actually work at scale.
All right, let's build on that. Our next role is the one that, well, it underpins every single successful AI project out there. I'm talking about the AI data engineer. These are the foundation builders.
You've heard the old saying, right? Garbage in, garbage out. Well, it has never been more true than it is today in the age of AI. Your billion-dollar model is completely worthless if the data it was trained on is messy or flawed. And that is the core problem that AI data engineers exist to solve.
So these are the engineers who design, build, and maintain the data pipelines that are literally the lifeblood of any AI system. They do the messy, complicated work of finding raw data, cleaning it up, transforming it into a format that a model can actually understand, and then constantly monitoring its quality. In fact, a 2026 report found that 42% of tech leaders say poor data quality is the #1 thing holding back AI adoption. These engineers are the ones who remove that barrier.
And because of that critical, strategic importance, the midpoint salary for an AI data engineer is sitting right around $153,000. This is not just a support role, it is a strategic one. Without them, most enterprise AI projects would fail before they even get off the ground.
Okay, now let's switch gears a bit. We're going to look at a very different path, but one that's equally valuable. This is a non-engineer role that is absolutely exploding right now, the applied AI specialist. These are the revenue drivers.
The whole game for this role isn't about building AI from scratch. It's about using it to make money, period.
These specialists live right at that intersection of technology and business. They take existing AI tools and agents and plug them directly into the parts of the company that generate revenue. Think marketing funnels and sales operations. They are masters at measuring and proving the return on investment for AI.
Their entire job is to use AI to make getting customers faster, cheaper, and way more effective. And this is exactly why they're so in demand. The State of AI Agents report found that a staggering 80% of business leaders say their AI investments are already delivering measurable financial returns. The applied AI specialists are the ones making that happen.
And because you can draw a straight line from their work to the company's bottom line, top performers in this role can see total compensation packages of up to $250,000. When you can prove your work directly grows revenue, companies are more than willing to pay for it.
Okay, on to our final specialized role for today, the experts in natural language processing, or NLP, and conversational AI. In short, these are the people who teach machines how to understand and respond to human language, which is a critical skill for any modern company.
So, what's really going on here? Well, at its core, it's about breaking down human language. When a user sends a message, the AI's first job is something called intent classification. It has to figure out, what does this person actually want to do? From there, the system maps that intent to a specific action, maybe looking up an order status or booking a meeting. These specialists are the architects of these complex dialogue systems, creating the digital colleagues that automate everything from customer service to internal IT help desks.
And with a median salary of $188,000 and senior roles easily clearing $220,000, the demand is obvious. As conversational interfaces become the main way we interact with complex software, the specialists who can build them to be effective, reliable, and even a bit nuanced, well, they're becoming absolutely indispensable.
So, we've just walked through 4 very distinct, high-paying roles. What's the common thread here? Why these roles? Let's connect the dots on why these specializations command such a premium and what that means for your career strategy. It really all boils down to this. These 4 roles solve the biggest, most expensive problems in enterprise AI. They either reduce massive financial and operational risk, like an MLOps engineer does. They directly generate revenue, like the applied AI specialist. They enable the entire company to scale safely, like our data and infrastructure engineers, or they weave AI deep into core business workflows, like the conversational AI experts. They solve for risk, revenue, and scale. So, what does this all mean for you? Here's my advice for 2026. First, stop chasing the newest, hottest model. Start chasing systems. You need to understand the entire life cycle. Second, go out and actively learn where AI breaks in the real world, because that's where the real value is. Third, combine your technical skills with business fluency. You have to speak both languages. And finally, think bigger than just automating a single task. The real opportunity is in process orchestration, figuring out how humans and AI agents can work together on really complex workflows.
You know, to really pull all this together, let's use an analogy. Think about building an enterprise AI capability like you're running a Formula One racing team. The MLOps engineers, they're your elite pit crew. They keep the car running at peak performance and prevent those catastrophic failures. The AI data engineers, they provide the perfectly refined high-octane fuel. Without it, the car isn't going anywhere. The NLP specialist is fine-tuning the steering and the communication systems, allowing for that precise control. And the applied AI specialist? Well, they're the driver. They're the one who takes all this incredible machinery and actually wins the race. Every single role is distinct, specialized, and absolutely critical for success.
And that's really the bottom line for 2026. The market has shifted. It's moved on from rewarding people who just talk about AI's potential to rewarding those who take direct responsibility for making it work, reliably, securely, and profitably. The only question left is, which part of that system will you own?